hello, and welcome to the Southern Belle NOLA channel. I'm your hostess, Southern Belle, and this is a very special Mardi Gras pop up of Bargains by Belle. So happy Mardi Gras, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. This stream almost didn't happen just a few minutes before I was to go live, my entire internet went out. So I had to reboot the router. I had to leave the StreamYard and get back in because the go live button wasn't there. It just said connecting, connecting, connecting. So somehow I went from having lots of people in the chat, including Melissa, to only seeing one message now, which scares me that I'm not seeing your chat. I don't have a co-host today. So it's not like a co-host can open a separate window and read it to me in the YouTube. So I'm a little bit scared. Hopefully my chat will start moving. I so don't want to cancel this auction. I can't wait to show you all of the great Mardi Gras memorabilia, the fabulous beads, the fabulous masks, both masks you can wear and masks that are ceramic and porcelain and collectible. But to broadcast it all, to be able to see it and to sell it, I have to either have a moving chat or a co-host that can read the chat. So hopefully y'all can help me out. Let me see. I wonder if I try to show it on my screen, if that will give me more chat than I'm seeing on my display. All right, I see Nana. Nana, 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 Nana. Hey, Nana's here. I'm so glad you stopped by just to say hey. There's never any pressure to buy anything. This auction is going to be super short, just a couple of hours, and then we're going to raid over into Colleen's chat. Okay, I'm starting to see some of my chat now. I tried to message you, Nana, this morning, and then I couldn't connect with you on Discord because I like to stay connected with people, even if they're not at the auction, just to be friends and keep up with what's going on with everybody. But this is going to be a very different kind of an auction. I realize not everybody's into Mardi Gras, not everybody goes to Mardi Gras, but we'll be having giveaways. We'll be having questions and answers, lots of fun things. So, because I don't have a co host to help me better answer your questions, when you have a question about Mardi Gras parades, Mardi Gras balls, history of Mardi Gras, put the word question in all caps and then ask it. That way, if it's in all caps, I will know it and see it since I don't have anybody to help me read the chat. And if for some reason anybody wants to help me, I can always drop the link if anybody wants to spontaneously co-host. So, but I see we have 6 people watching. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I know most people aren't expecting me to broadcast during the day. And believe you me, I'm not going to start stepping on toes because I know there are daytime sellers. And it's my pet peeve when people broadcast during my time at night. So I hate to do it during the day, but Mardi Gras is but one day a year, and the entire nighttime schedule was already taken up by my friends. So I wanted to come on for just a couple of hours today. And this is a great auction just to watch, because these will be things other sellers don't have, things you'll just enjoy seeing. For anybody who does want to bid, let me go ahead and tell you how this will work. We might have some different people who've never seen me at night, who are seeing me for the very first time today. So if you think you might possibly want to bid on something and you've never seen me before, never bought anything before, never bid before, what you need to do is send me a registration email. My email is at the corner of the screen, and my moderator, Melissa, will also put it in the chat. Let me know your YouTube name, your real name, and your mailing address. That way I know where to send your items and where to send the bill. Once you've done that, you can bid. The way you bid at my particular channel is in numbers. That way I have a legal representation that you know how much you are going to be billed. My billing procedure is with PayPal. That way you will get an itemized bill for absolutely everything you buy. It'll have the items, it'll have the quantities, it'll have all the totals calculated out for you, and then at the bottom we'll have shipping. I do calculated shipping with a discount service called Pirate Ship. And Pirate Ship works with both UPS and USPS in order to get the deepest discounted rates. Those deeply discounted rates are based on three things: the weight of the package, the dimensions of the package, and the distance from your zip code to mine. As you might can tell from this special pop-up, I'm shipping from a suburb of New Orleans, Louisiana. That's why my channel is called Southern Belle Nola. I want to let you know that I do take two different forms of payment. I can accept Zelle or PayPal. PayPal is the software by which I make your invoices, and but my preferred method is actually Zelle. And the reason why is it has absolutely no fees, and it's guaranteed by the banking system. PayPal has big fees, but PayPal is the way that you can pay with your debit card, your bank card, your credit card, your Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express, with Venmo, with Apple Pay, and a whole bunch of other ways. I also want to let you know that absolutely everything you bid on, you do have to pay for. All sales are final, all items are as is and where is. The only time you can retract is during an auction. I do not cancel invoices at all, ever, for any reason. You simply have to pay for what you buy. It's that simple. All right, let's scroll to the top of the chat, see who's here, and say some hellos individually. All right, first I see Crochet Queen Kathy. Now she's saying, "Hi, Abby." I don't see Diane, but Diane, if you're here, hello, hello. There's Nana. So glad to see you, Nana. Next, I see Melissa. And Melissa's dropping the registration link. And next, I'm seeing a new name. This might be a foreign viewer, perhaps. Okay. You might just have wanted to turn your notification setting off. That might seem like it was a easier choice, but I understand. I don't take that personally at all. I don't make a dime from Discord. It's just an easy way to communicate. Also, it's a great way for calling and video chatting. Since I have a landline, so I still have to pay long distance calls every time I want to talk to y'all or want to video chat with y'all. Okay, well, once again, happy Mardi Gras. If y'all have any questions about Mardi Gras, um, put them in the chat. If y'all would rather me ask y'all questions for prizes, we can do that too. So I'm going to say, laissez le bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. Roll in your life, roll in your heart, roll in your soul. Roll on and on and on. And if you would, please, oh please, click the thumbs up. I would surely appreciate that. It's a free and easy way you can support me in the chat. Also, click the share button and share me out on your YouTube community page, on your Facebook, your Instagram, all your Discords, including mine, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter, which is now called X, and any of your other social media. All right, well, let's get started. I'm going to start with a trivia question for y'all for a prize. Well, you answered my messages just fine, but I won't debate it. You do what's right for you, Nana. Love you either way. All right. First person to get this question right is going to win a prize. I'll show you what it is, and I'll probably have to explain what it is. The first question is, what is the difference between Carnival and Mardi Gras? Hello, hello, Patty. Patty, we're answering a trivia question for a prize. We'll have lots of trivia questions, lots of prizes. I don't have a co host, but I'm going to try to do my best to read the chat and keep up. So, everybody, welcome, Patty. So, first question is, what's the difference in Carnival and Mardi Gras? What is the difference between Carnival and Mardi Gras? And there's one very specific, very clear answer. And if I have stumped you, I can just tell you and move on to another question. But I think this is something that I had mentioned several times throughout the um, last few weeks, last few months, last few years. Anybody got an answer for me? Anybody want to take a guess? I'm not quite sure how long the lag is, so it's hard to know how long to wait. And likewise, if y'all have questions for me, I can answer your questions instead. But I wanted to give away some prizes. Okay. All right. That's right. Mardi Gras is one single day, which happens to be today, and Carnival is the whole season. Kind of like Yuletide is the season and it culminates in Christmas. Okay, Patty, you're going to get something called a doubloon. This is what it looks like. They are double sided. These are thrown from floats. These are handed out by what's called walking crews. Um, so this is a doubloon. So this first one is going to Patty. And there's Diane. And y'all all had a similar idea. Patty just got in first. Okay, let's give away another prize. Last year, I realized when I was talking about Mardi Gras floats The people seem to think that they were self propelled. They are not. The question is, what pulls the Mardi Gras float through the miles and miles of parade route? What pulls each and every Mardi Gras float? Because they don't just roll on their own. You can't drive them like you can drive the Wienermobile. If you've seen the Wienermobile, you can't drive a Mardi Gras float. So, next question. What pulls a Mardi Gras float, each Mardi Gras float, through the miles and miles and miles of parade routes? Horse is incorrect, but y'all can keep trying. You can keep trying again and again and again until the right answer is revealed. Not trucks, not horses. This surprised people the last few years. Every year, people are surprised by this answer, which is why it's a question I repeated. If any of y'all went back and watched the third annual Mardi Gras Marketplace, second annual, first annual, some of y'all may have some of these answers. If you kind of studied ahead, people, no. Oh my, I don't think you. Mardi Gras floats are sometimes single decks, but often double decks. And there are anywhere from as little as 10, as many as 20 people per side. There is no way humans could carry that many other humans. Okay. Patty wins again. So another doubloon going to you. They are pulled by tractors. Tractors. Flying monkeys? No. That's who actually cleans all of the debris from the floats, from everything that people eat and drink on the parade route. No, clowns have cute little clown floats, and they not only throw beads and candy, but they make balloon animals for the kids. They're kind of in the pre parade part where you have what's called walking crews, which that's KREWE, meaning walking groups. And then they'll have some other like bicycle groups. They have these funny guys that have motorized recliner, have dancers, baton twirlers, stilt walkers. They have all the special stuff before you get to the actual floats, kind of like a warm up. Small children. Oh, come on. You're going to get me in trouble with some of these answers, y'all. Okay, but detractors is the correct answer. Oh, golf carts. I'm not sure a golf cart could pull more than a wagon. But Patty, you get a second one of these. If you don't want or need to, you're more than welcome to gift it to somebody else in the chat. Okay, we will have more giveaways. Anytime y'all have questions for me, what you're going to do is you're going to put the word question in all caps, and then you're going to tell me what the question is. Since I'm by myself and it's hard to both swap products, sell stuff, and watch the chat, if you put the word question in all caps, that's going to help me spot it. All right, we're going to start out with some of these fabulous stickers. If y'all were at my auction last night, y'all saw these kind of Victorian stickers. Now, some of you may say, some of that you still use, some of that you don't. Mardi Gras stretches back hundreds of years. Does anybody, one more trivia question, does it, for a doubloon, does anybody know why the first Mardi Gras parade hundreds of years ago took place? Anybody know? Pastanana. Okay, we'll make a note of that. So sweet, kindness wins. Okay, so why did the first Mardi Gras parade happen? And then we'll go to the stickers and I'll walk you through each and every one of the stickers. It snowed. No, 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 no. Oh, it snowed. I could give you a little hint if it rained cats and dogs. Well, that happens all the time. If we had a parade, every time it rains, we'd be having parades all the time. Wanted to celebrate before Lent? That's not a bad guess, but that's not the case. Maybe made a king cake. Oh, have you ever thought about why it's called a king cake? Just saying, there might be a little clue in there. Might be a little clue. Okay, I'll give you all a couple more guesses. And if we don't get a right guess, I'll have Melissa put some stop in the name of love and I'll just tell y'all. Actual cats and dogs. He's got the greatest sense of humor. I adored that. Hi, Shelby. Oh, Shelby, you need to finish school and do your homework first. I absolutely insist that. You can always watch the replay, sweetheart, but school and homework absolutely need to come first. I insist on that. Overstocked with purple and gold beads. Oh, well, let's not leave the green out. Mardi Gras is a three-color holiday. The green equally important. Okay. Celebrate the king, celebrate Easter. A woman stood strong and proud in her faith. Okay, I'm going to go with Melissa because that's very, very close to the answer. Donna says, I'll take you, Patty. I appreciate that. That's awesome of you. Thank you so much. Okay, so the reason for the first parade is, we Americans, we kind of like to show off. And we were so proud of the independence that we got from England and that we were on our own. There were some visiting Russian czars, and they came to New Orleans. So, for some reason, they decided the best way to show off, because, a parade was kind of like their form of social media, of how fabulous and wonderful and prosperous the town was to have a grand, fabulous parade. So it is because of the visiting Russian king and queen that we just kept having Mardi Gras year after year after year. So Melissa's getting a doubloon. It's also why every single parade elects, chooses a king and queen of that parade, and they also have prince and princess and maids and dukes and, the whole carnival ball court, kind of like you would have a homecoming court. And it's very prestigious to be chosen, or a few of them, it's by almost a lottery system. But keep in mind, to even be in on the lottery, you have to have joined the group, which once again is called a crew, KWEWE, and paid, thousands of dollars in dues. Even just to go to a carnival ball is hundreds of dollars per ticket, and that's on top of your annual dues. Okay, everybody, I see a few people lagging. Y'all make sure that you are on live chat, not top chat, and that your little red line is pulled all the way forward. All right, well, we're going to get started with our first $1 round. And because this is a short auction, I can't even guarantee that we will necessarily have a second one. So this might be the only one. All right, let me show you these fabulous stickers close up. Here's the first one. And if any of you are saying, I wish you had some masks, I'm going to have masks you can actually wear, and I'm going to have other masks you can display. So once again, these are all stickers. And at balls, still today, women have to wear floor length gowns. You cannot get in with a semi-formal. You cannot get in with a tailing. Literally has to be floor length. Men still have to wear a tux with tails, but they do not have to wear the top hat. No frumpy dresses today. Parasols, fans, and even now, we still bring fans because a lot of the big balls take place in the Superdome, which they can't air condition it well because it's so hot. The convention center, once again, it's so big you can't air condition it. If you go to a really small one, it'll be in like a hotel ballroom. Well, several ballrooms, they've opened up to each other. But still, you're bringing fans because it is always hot, especially when you're dancing. And all of the balls mostly serve what's in here. Now, we're going to be family friendly, and we're just going to call this bottles. Call this bottles because I don't want to get in trouble, especially since sometimes we accidentally have teenagers watching, even though I have told them to go do their homework. So, all right, looking for $1 starting bid for choice, no multiples. But I love that y'all are playing along with the games, that y'all are guessing and trying. That means so, so, so much to me. Makes it super fun. Boy, I must have a really long lap today. Any interest? Okay, well, while we're waiting, how about one more trivia question for another doubloon? The next trivia question um, is Mardi Gras the same date every year? Is Mardi Gras the same date every year? Is it always February 17th? Okay, I see Diane first. That's correct. Correct. All right, you get a doubloon. Melissa also got it correct. All right, how about one more trivia question before we move on? Next trivia question is, what is the translation of the words Mardi Gras? Looking for a two-word translation here of the word Mardi and Gras. Two words. And I know James said this last week. Okay, Melissa wins again. It is Fat Tuesday. Well, technically it's Tuesday fat because in French, the noun comes first and the adjective is second, but we swap around the order. So Mardi is literally the word Tuesday and gras means fat. All right, congratulations, Melissa. All right, last call on these stickers. Last call, last call. All right, I'm going to move them aside then. All right, next, let's look at some earrings. These earrings are going to be $5. They're beautiful mask earrings. They have all of the fabulous feathers. I don't know if y'all know this, but Mardi Gras has a lot of feathers as embellishments, going back hundreds of years because that was one of the first of the fabulous and fancy materials that they have had for hundreds and hundreds of years. A lot of the materials we use now weren't invented then, but still, we use a ton of feathers. All right, anybody for the Mardi Gras earrings? And remember, if y'all have any questions for me about Mardi Gras, about parades, floats, balls, y'all feel free to ask me in the chat. Just put the word question up first, so in all caps. That way my eyes will detect it. Usually, Mardi Gras is one of my biggest broadcasts at night. It's the first time I've ever been during the day. I think a lot of people don't realize I'm on. All right, well, last call on these then. All right, here is another pair with our classic purple, green, and gold on them. Maybe you thought, the other ones are too costumey. This is something that even if you're not celebrating Mardi Gras, that has the beautiful Mardi Gras colors in it, you'll be able to wear all year long. These are surprisingly light. They are pierced with a shepherd's hook back again. Still looking for $5. Hope everybody's having a great day and having some great weather. For those who went out to parades this morning, it was a little cool and crisp, but not too bad. Sunny, great day for a parade. Parades start at 8 a.m. in New Orleans. Second parade starts at 10, third parade starts at noon, and on and on and on because it is parade after parade after parade. And that goes for all the days before. Parades aren't just a single parade per night. Every night has a whole lineup. Just like TV shows have a lineup of one after another, parades work the same way. Because there are too many parades in too few days. So it's just a matter of what night and what order. All right, we're going to pass on this one to them. All right, well, let's go to something else. All right, next I have some drink stirrers, believe it or not. And look how cute these are. You're going to get 18 pieces in here, and they have fleur-de-lis on them. That's right, fleur-de-lis on them. I'm going to start these out at $2. $2. Do the same floats participate in multiple parades or different nights, or is it a different float every night at every parade? Mostly it's different floats. There are a couple of, um, how shall I say, low tier parades that will change part of the floats, but 99% of it is different floats. And all of those floats have to be housed in huge warehouses. They're about twice as big and tall as the warehouse that keeps the city buses. And we have so many warehouses all across New Orleans and the suburbs just to house floats. But also because they are photographed, therefore people can see a float and just automatically know, oh wait, that's the King's float of the Rex parade. That's the Queen's float of the um, Zeus parade. So because they become very well known. So, but they use the same floats every year, although they will introduce new floats. And when they introduce new floats, it's a big media event. Oh, and Demian's getting a new float this year. And many of the floats are not only have sculptural qualities to them, but they have lights, they have fiber optics. Some of them even have moving parts and components to them. I wish I had a co host this year because then we could show you footage, we could show you pictures. But unfortunately, I don't have the ability to do that when I'm by myself. Yes, there's a very famous place called Mardi Gras World. And at Mardi Gras World, I think they house maybe 50 or so floats, but they let the viewers see what it's like to climb on top and look from the perspective of the riders. They also have costumes you can try on and take pictures. Mardi Gras World is a wonderful place. And Mardi Gras floats also have designers. Everybody on the float has to wear a costume, has to wear a mask. It's a whole production just to ride on a Mardi Gras float. Very expensive for the fees to be part of the group. Very expensive for the fees to ride on a float, and super expensive to buy the tens of thousands of throws that you throw out as the day or night um, of the parade is, since it is hours and hours and hours as you slowly but surely creep the miles of the parade route. All right, any interest in these drink stirrers? All right, let's put these aside then. All right, next let's look at some Mardi Gras beads. Now, Mardi Gras beads, once upon a time, they would open these and throw them one little bead at a time. Now they will throw you a dozen at a time. And I wanted to show y'all how big and long they are. And this is how they come. Um, so you're going to get an entire dozen. The signature colors of Mardi Gras are purple, green, and gold. Can you get beads in other colors? Yes, you can. It all depends if you are trying to be different or you're trying to be classic. So if you prefer them still wrapped in plastic, I have some still wrapped in plastic. Let me see if I can make these a little smaller. So here they come. This is why there's so much what they call trash after a parade. A lot of the riders will, rather than throwing them like this, they will open them and throw them like this. Now, some people like them new in the bag, some people don't. And a lot of the time you'll see this packaging. This is how we know. These are 48 inches. They are 8 millimeters, and PGG stands for purple, green, and gold. Because you buy these by the dozen, by the gross, by the case when you're a rider. So let me show you various ones I have. Here is how they look if they're not purple, green, and gold. So once again, you can see there are a dozen in a bag. These are 42 inches long and 7 millimeters, but they do have more and different colors. Oh, these are going to be $3 starting bid, Melissa. Some of you may be wondering, do they come in other sizes? They do. You can probably see that these are a bigger millimeter. These are yet a bigger millimeter. Put these in the back. So maybe you're having some kind of Mardi Gras party. Maybe you are making a Mardi Gras wreath. So $3 starting bid for an entire dozen. And they're all new, either sealed or bundled. And that's just the way they come. I didn't like bundle it to sell to you. That'd be a lot of trouble. Okay, any interest in the beads? I'm getting so little chat that it's hard to know how long the lag is, or if y'all just aren't chatting much. I hope y'all aren't bored with me sharing my culture with y'all. All right, is there any interest in the Mardi Gras beans? Now, I will be having some of the more elaborate beads as well, but I wanted to show y'all the kind that are most common and are sold in bulk first. All right, well, I will move these aside then. Well, like jewelry and like all other things, there is generic and name brand. What I showed you was generic. Every parade has a name and has a signature throw. This one you'll see says Bacchus. Bacchus is the big parade that happens the Sunday night before Mardi Gras. And you can probably see the grapes. They have a theme of grapes. So they have these beads specially made, and every single one has their logo on it. And they are a higher echelon to catch, just like when you wear a necklace with a name brand in real life, it sells for more. So for this dozen, it's going to be $5. Ashley, hello, hello. So a dozen of these with the Bacchus emblem. Now, the weekend before Mardi Gras is what they call super parades, meaning that the parades are longer. The floats are fancier. They're all double decker, and many are 2 and 3 lengths long. They also usually have celebrity monarchs to them as well. So you'll see each of these have the logo icon on them. You're still getting 12. They're just the name brand version of. Okay, any interest? Okay, if not, we will pass on this. Next, Mardi Gras makes their own stuffed animals. You can always tell a Mardi Gras stuffed animal because it's in the signature purple, green, and gold. This particular one says New Orleans. It's new with tag. Also has a little bow tie here. A lot of people will collect these as well. $5. And you'll see that the stitching on these is just beautiful. They are specially made. Here's the tag for it. And yes, stuffed animals are yet another thing that's thrown from the floats out to the crowd. It's a misnomer that it's all drunk co-eds. Drunk co-eds are in the French Quarter where the parades do not happen. The actual parades happen on St. Charles Avenue, which St. Charles Avenue is known for being the street of Loyola University, which is next door to Tulane University. It's the street where all of the streetcars are. There are huge churches, exquisite multi-story old homes, and yet that's where the parade stands and where all of the visitors stand to collect their throws and parking is fierce because everybody who lives there has their own family. So finding any parking is super hard, and ticketing and towing is rampant because it's actually a residential type area in which the parades happen. And let me just say that to get throws, you don't have to show anything but a smile. The other stuff you show is in the French Quarter because there are no parades. If you just attend a parade, you will get bags and bags full of items, um, just for going, just what you can catch or what you miss and what you pick up off the ground. Hi, Craig. All hail our King Bellarino. All right, last call for this stuffed animal. Okay, next, every home, well, most homes are decorated for Mardi Gras, just like most homes are decorated for Christmas. This is an example of a Mardi Gras ornament. After Christmas, rather than taking down our Christmas trees, we turn them into Mardi Gras trees. And so if you're driving through New Orleans, you will still see a tree up, but the ornaments change. This is an example of an exquisite ornament for Mardi Gras. I don't want y'all to think this is just some bootleg thing that people make. No, they're made, they're commercial, they're sold in stores. This one is going to be $3. And it's a beautiful fleur de lis. And you'll see lots of fleur de lis tonight, not because it's my channel, but because it's one of the signature icons of Carnival and of New Orleans. Looking for just $3. You'll see it's a nice big size. All right, any interest on the Mardi Gras ornaments? All right, we're going to pass on that. Next, let me show a Mardi Gras scarf. This scarf is exquisite. It literally says Mardi Gras. Turned on the right side. Literally says Mardi Gras. It's got masks on it. So pretty. It's a nice long length. $7. I only have one of these. Wear it with white, wear it with purple, green, gold. All of a sudden, it's an upscale way that you can show every year. You remember it all or wear it for the whole carnival season. It's got a beautiful shimmer and shine to it. $7. Okay, last call on this scarf. Okay, next here's another pair of earrings. This one says Mardi Gras. These are new and sealed, $5. Rainbow, hello, hello. So glad to see you. And these are on shepherd's hooks. $5. How funny that it says Rainbow Collection and then Rainbow Cookie Sprinkles pops up in my chat. Yes, I'm glad to sell you the plushie. I only have one though. So let me know if just one will do. If you need two because of, grandkids and having to be fair, I understand if you want to change your mind or retract, but I only have one. I'm so sorry. So you can just let me or let Melissa know if one will do or you'd rather um, not. And that won't hurt my feelings if you need to retract. All right. Anybody for the earrings? One is fine. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. An hour in, and I'm just now having my first sale. This is why I don't auction on the daytime. All right. Last call for these Mardi Gras earrings. For anybody tuning in late, I did have a couple of other pairs towards the beginning. Okay. Next, let me show you some fancier Mardi Gras beads. Okay. These beads are braided in the purple, green, and gold. They're going to come in um, two different lengths. This is the standard length, which is hard to show you here. In fact, I'm going to double it over here. But if and this is the length you would wear for a long necklace. If you want the length that basically goes down to your belly button, we have this length as well. Once again, this is the length of it being doubled because Mardi Gras beads are always long, super long even. And the reason is there are no clasps. You have to be able to put it over your head to get it on. So all Mardi Gras beads are either long, very long, or super long. The shortest ones usually come to mid chest. Then there's the length that comes down to your belly button, and then some go all the way to your knees. They're so long. Troy, hello, hello. All right, these are going to be $3 for choice, but they are so beautiful because they're this great beaded design. So you get all of the colors, and yet it's only one bead. Oh, you went to a Mardi Gras parade this past weekend in New Orleans or one in another state or another city in Pensacola. Okay, fantastic. I'm glad you mentioned that because I want to let other people know that other cities, other states absolutely also celebrate Mardi Gras. Y'all have heard Jane talking about it a lot, and she's in Georgia. If you're on Discord, you'll see their king cake that they're going to cut into. I thought they'd have it for breakfast like we do, but apparently they're going to save it for a treat later. I hope you had a great time, Mr. Troy. All right, well, last call on these fabulous beads then. All right, well, let me show you the next level up in beads. The next level up in beads are called strung beads. So all of those others are not strung. These are strung because you can literally see they're on a wire. Um, so these are totally different. You have to be more careful with these because if two people catch them and like, no, it's mine, no, it's mine, if they pull, it will burst and beads will go everywhere. So you learn as a kid which ones are strung and which ones are not strung because if you and somebody else both think that it was thrown to you and you get aggressive with it, it'll just break. Because sometimes kids are that way. No, it's mine. No, it's mine. So this one is going to be $4. And just look at the beautiful luster of these beads. They have like an iridescence to them. And for those of y'all who may not know, the way beads work is everybody brings bags and bags to catch everything that they throw. Because with parade after parade after parade, and it goes on all day, you've got to carry home your throws. But when you get what you think, call a premium bead, those you don't just toss into your bag. Those you put around your neck and you wear for the whole day. And as you get better and better ones, you trade up because the beads are going to get heavy. So you can only wear so many on your neck. So in between floats, you'll take some off and put them aside and you'll keep trading up. So by the end of the day, your most fabulous ones are the ones you have on. And then you kind of compare them to other people's. Because with the tractors breaking down, you've got gaps in the parade route where you can kind of reorganize, where you can sit in your lawn chairs, take a break, have a soda or water, hydrate, but also look at other people's beads. Sometimes people will even trade. All right. Any interest? Well, I keep showing y'all beads, but you're not interested. Let's go to some masks. Maybe the crowd would be more interested in masks rather than just to keep showing beads. Shelby, I was really serious about doing your schoolwork and your homework first, sweetie pie. Because you know that that's what your parents and your grandparents want you to do. Okay, let's go to some masks. Let me start out with um, the most affordable masks first, and then we'll get to some of the higher end ones. So I know not all masks will be in everybody's budget. All right, this is going to be our most affordable mask. This is a simple, well, it's not simple. It's still very elaborate and beautiful, but it's a black lace mask, and this is the kind you tie on. This is going to be just $3. So this is the kind that you would wear to a ball. Because think about it, you spend all this time doing your hair, doing your makeup. Most people who can afford to go to balls have their hair and makeup professionally done, their nails done, because they spent, hundreds of dollars on this ball gown. So this is a great mask because then you can still see your eyes and your makeup through it. The tie on fashion, you can put either under your um, fluffy curly hair if you've had it done down, or a lot of people will wear it up just because it is so hot between the dancing and the big venues. So anybody for $3, but just look how fancy these are, lacy, gorgeous. You could use it for Halloween. You could use it for a night of romance with your husband. Lots of things you could do with these as well. Could cut the ties off, make it into a scrapbook page. Hello, Laurie. So good to see you. For those of y'all who don't know, Laurie co-hosted last year and she did a wonderful job. Showed fantastic pictures on her phone. Put all the names in for the giveaways. All right, rainbows in for 3. Thank you, thank you. Anybody else? Otherwise, we'll count this down and see how many she wants. A lot of times when you go to a dinner, one of these will be set at every place setting for every guest. Hello, Lady Braven. Belle, what do you need as far as help with somebody on the panel? Um, I'm done making my noise at my house. I might be able to help you if you just need somebody to read the chat. That's what I need, is somebody to read the chat. I'm going to drop the link, and that's all you need to do is read the chat. You don't have to come on screen if you don't want to. I just need you to help me read the chat. Okay, here's the link. So kind of you to offer, Nana. Okay, we are sold. So glad you're here, Lady Braven. All right, let's see how many of these rainbow wants. I do have multiples. And the great thing about these tie-on ones is they are always going to fit everybody because you tie them to your level of comfort. But you know what? I bet those of you who are crafty could also tie these onto a wreath or onto some other decorations. You might could even find a way to make these work for Halloween decorations. Yeah, join me, Nana. Mr. Terry did a great job the time he did. I love having guests. And, you know, if you don't enjoy it, you can just say, well, I'm going to go back to the chat, and that won't hurt my feelings. Okay, Rainbow's going to take 2. Grab 2. All right, 1, 2. All right, anybody else? These are going to be the most affordable masks for tonight. They're also the only ones that are made of lace tonight. I will have other masks though. All the rest are going to be 5 and up. Oh, we've got a guest. We've got a guest. Okay, let me bring her on. You make sure she's ready. Okay, you know your camera is on, right? If you know your camera is on, give me a thumbs up because I don't want to dox you if you wanted to be voice only. But just give me a thumbs up if you're okay with, okay, she turned her camera off. She's lovely and gorgeous, though, I gotta tell you. All right, I'm gonna begin now. Hello, hello, Nana. Thank you so much for coming to help.
Hello, hello.
Sweetheart. I appreciate you.
I just want to make sure there's no feedback, like you guys can't hear Belly through my speakers.
It sounds totally great. And believe me, I would tell you if you did. Oh. Okay, so let's see where we are in the chat. I'm going to put you down in the corner, not because I don't appreciate you, but just so people can see the full items. All
I
right.
don't know if you noticed, but Mr. Terry Bear came in.
Hi, Terry Bear. Hello, hello. I'm so glad you're here. And Lady Braven, I will email you about it after the auction. And Melissa says, sounds perfect. Okay. Anybody else? For the black lace mask that is tie on, it's our most affordable mask of the night, the only lace mask of the night. Any other interest? Last call, last call. All right, I will move it aside. I still have some available. All right, next. Okay, here is the next one. This one is sparkly. It is molded. It is blush pink. And when I say molded, you'll see it's not lace. It has a structured interior. It is tie on as well. This one is going to start at 5. You'll see it has a bridge for the nose, which is why it's molded. You'll see it's got scallops at the bottom. You'll see it has both glitter and some sequins to it. You'll see the eye shape is a cat's eye shape. Look at the details at the corners. This is one time. Having a big forehead is great, is during mask season because so many of the styles and designs go all the way up into the forehead. And once again, it's because a lot of women wear their hair up, both historically and now, because of the heat, both from dancing and the venues.
Hello, Lady Braven.
All right, any interest in this mask? This is the only one in this dainty feminine color. Most of the time, Mardi Gras masks are vibrant or dark. All right, we're going to.
Melissa, that's a great way to explain that. Sparkly.
Yes. Okay. Next, here is a commercially made one. It's going to come in 2 colors, although women could wear either color. Here is one in magenta. You'll see the eyes are outlined. Once again, molded for the nose. It's a rigid mask, and it has a flower. This one
Oh, that is
more
so pretty.
suited to a man, but a woman could wear it too. Classic black. Once again, I love that they have aligned the eyes. So
Looks
these
like
are
we
going to
have
be
Rainbow in
$5.
for 5.
Okay. Now the question is, was she in for one of these or one of the last ones?
Melissa has started counting down.
She might have been in for the last one. Then let me bring it back.
Rainbow, are you looking at
For
the
the same
sparkly
price.
one or the red and black?
Well, they're kind of all sparkly. That's going to be a trend you're going to notice in Mardi Gras items that they are sparkly. They are glamorous. They are sophisticated. Some to the point of gaudiness, but it is all
Where?
good for Mardi Gras.
Looks like we're sold to Rainbow. We're just waiting to see which one she would like.
Okay. And thank you
She
again
says
for coming
pink.
on to help me with the chat. Okay. I'm guessing she means blush pink because I don't think she had seen the magenta yet. All right. Thank you. Thank you. And Melissa, with
No
all the
problem there,
masks,
Belle.
I'm setting them aside because I don't want anything to fall on them in the hamper. Okay, so these two are $5 for choice. These are our next two choices. Let's see if I can put them on
And I think we're
different.
open to chat, right?
We are. And even though these were manufactured with flowers, many times people will add on flowers, will add on feathers, will add on lots of embellishments.
I think it'd be neat to be down there and see all the people with their masks on and their fancy clothes. And I've never been able to go down there for that.
Well, a lot of the bloggers and vloggers have these meetups. Usually resellers don't, just because we have a regular, um, broadcast schedule. Because if we don't broadcast and we don't sell, we don't pay our bills. But I've often thought, if I could kind of sort of get ahead at Christmas, that I might could have a meet up in New Orleans, because I think if ever people were coming, not necessarily because they want to meet me, but because they want to have a local take them around to Mardi Gras and the parades and a swamp tour and some plantation tours, that would be a great time. Also, it's the least sweaty time of the year. So I keep thinking that if ever people are interested, obviously people would travel at their own expense, and they would stay at a reasonable priced hotel of their own expense, but that I could help in planning excursions. And going to parades is absolutely free. You're just standing on the sidewalk in front of somebody's house or church. So there's a lot of things that would be free once people traveled here. So if there are enough people interested, we might could plan a meet up for next year. Because I keep hearing that people would like to come, and it could be a situation where all us ladies got together, or ladies and their husbands as well. So if y'all are interested in that, we might try to plan something for next year. In the meantime, are there any interests in these next two masks?
I'm not seeing anything in the chat.
Okay, well, I'm going to swap them out. They'll still be available on the replay. All right, here's the next one. I'm going to start this one at $5 too. Hopefully you can see this one is even more artistic. It is blue and gold. You don't often see blue for carnival, which is why it is one of the rarities. And look at the beautiful design work. So many of the ones we've seen before, just solid. But as we get more and more expensive, you will see there's more design work to it. And basically, one side is gold and one side is blue. You'll often see that because of the comedy tragedy aspect of Mardi Gras. This is the back. It is molded and shaped. So $5. And I think this one's just exquisite. And you don't have to have blue eyes to wear it, although it would bring out some blue eyes.
Somebody took a lot of time on that. That is very pretty.
Thank you. Also, look at the shape of the masks, too. That's something else you'll be looking at. It's got a cat wing side, a cat wing eye. Anybody for $5. I also love the outline as well. We as women get so used to wearing makeup that many times we like the masks that almost look like they have eye makeup on or eyeliner. Oh, this one's in
Welcome in.
plastic, Lisa. If I was going to put one on, I probably would have opened up one of the black lace ones, but I don't have the lighting adjusted to show me. I've got all the lighting in the back shining this way. That's one of those things I have to pre-set up where I've got lighting in another room to shine on my face. Um, I thought you were supposed to be at work. What is it? Shelby's supposed to be at school. You're supposed to be at work. But I love that y'all are tuning in. Y'all make sure and click the thumbs up for me. And y'all welcome
I
Nola
like
to her first
Shelby's
time
little.
co-hosting.
Well, I thank you. I like Shelby's little tidbits of information or interesting facts.
Okay, we're going to pass on this one if there's no interest. Now, the next one is going to be a set of two. This is the kind of mask you wear if you're just going about a Mardi Gras day. Maybe you're going to a parade. Maybe you're going to Mardi Gras at a school or someplace. This is not as fancy, but it comes with the ears. So on the parade route, many people come in costume or come in mask. So for $5 here, you're going to get a sealed mask that you tie on. It's got pearls, it's got animal print, and it's got matching ears. So you're going to get both.
And Shelby says, no, she's not. She got out at 3:15 Eastern time.
Okay, all right.
And Lisa, well, very short. She had to pick somebody up from school.
Oh, that's her little 4.5-year-old. I'm sorry she's sick. Okay, so here you get the mask and the ears. So this is not what you would wear to a ball. This is what you wear to the parade route or just to be jaunty while you were living your life or running errands. Although there's limited errands that you can run because everything's basically closed. Even grocery stores are only open for a few hours in the morning and they're closed. So schools do not operate. Not only do they not operate on Mardi Gras, but they're closed for Lundi Gras, which was yesterday, the day before. They're closed today, and they're closed tomorrow as well. Mardi Gras is a 3-day holiday for all elementary, middle schools, high schools, universities. But other states get spring break. So that's kind of how it works out. All right. Any interest on this mask?
I'm not showing anything in the chat.
Okay, I'm going to have just one more at the $5 level, and then we're going to start going a little higher. Here's the last one at the $5 rate. It's the kind you tie on. This is the quintessential purple, green, and gold. And you'll see it has swirls. There is glitter within the swirls. Has edging. Once again, it is molded. Room for your nose. Here's what the back side that rests against your face looks like. So $5 for this one. You'll see it's commercially made, new with tag. I will have some artisan pieces later. Some people prefer the commercial ones. So $5. I think this has such a regal look to it. And, if you're going to be a tourist, you want the quintessential colors. If you're here every year, after a while, you get tired wearing purple, green, and gold, and you're looking for something different. You'll pull in the blues or the golds or whatever. But when you're just visiting, or if this is your one and only Mardi Gras, or you're trying to bring Mardi Gras to a local house or a local family party or a Mardi Gras themed event of some other type, maybe it's a fundraiser, you want to go with the signature colors.
Melissa is asking if you have any more beads.
I do. What type of beads would you like to see? I've shown specialty beads. I've shown groups of beads. Um, Let me know what more kinds of beads you'd like, and I'll be glad to bring some of those out. Lisa says it's free cuddles over here. I love that. Evie is so cuddly. All right, last call on this. The next one is even more exquisite. This one is bigger and fancier. This one is going to be $10. Now, just to give you an example of size and scale, this was 5, this was 10. Can y'all see how it's bigger and fancier? So this one is an example of what would be worn by a guy or a more, powerful, boss babe kind of woman. But a lot of times women don't want one this big just because it's going to interfere with their hair. But guys with, a round head, receding head, a bald head, therefore it's going to work better for them. So that's why this is usually regarded as a man's, or some women these days, have the little pixie cuts or, a slicked back ponytail type, or, hair in a bun. So it can work for them too. So I do want to show you how it does go back this way. And this shows you how the straps are put on, but this one is exquisite.
Melissa is asking if you have any more strung beads. And Lisa, if you're asking if you missed the beads, she has shown some.
Okay,
and I believe she's going to show a few more.
Okay, all right. Well, let's put the masks away then, if there's no interest. All right, let's see what else I have in these. Okay, here's the next bead. This one has a fleur-de-lis icon on it. It is new in package. Here is a pearl bead, the same situation. It's got a big group of Mardi Gras flowers on it. We've got...
I really like those flowers. Those are pretty.
Thank you. Here's one with a big mask. Here's the beads and the mask dangles. All right.
Oh, there you go, Lisa. You don't have to worry about your glasses with the mask that hangs from beads.
Well, Lisa, this kind of lace mask you could put on top of your glasses, because this one isn't molded, so it can just lay on top of your glasses.
And the starting the beads.
Pardon? Oh, $3
The starting bid.
Here's another one. This one has some seafood on it. Put this one up here, because absolutely anything can be a dangle on a bead. Here is what we call one with a toasting cup, because at every parade, when the king and queen passed, you're supposed to toast. This one has a purple toasting cup on it.
Belle, I'm sorry. I think she got it. Never mind. Melissa got it.
All right. Here is one with a glass slipper. I was talking about that each parade has an icon. The one for Bacchus that I was talking about was grapes. there is a parade called Muses, and their icon is a shoe. So
We
everything
have
they do
Lisa.
has a shoe.
We have Lisa in for 3.
Okay. Oh, and this is not a glass shoe. That's an acrylic shoe. It's illegal to throw anything glass. So everything has to be um, non-glass. Most of the time it's acrylic or plastic. Come on, sit up like a nice baby.
For 325.
You know, I think Lisa, despite working during the day, finds some way to always come to my Mardi Gras sales. I feel like every year, whether she was running my sales, whether she was co hosting my sales, that I was mailing her a few Mardi Gras things. But I think it was easier when I was able to broadcast at night. JEK, hello, hello. Thank you so much for being here. Happy Mardi Gras to you. Say hi to my co hostess, Nana.
Looks like we are sold to Lisa for 3.
Love it. Okay. The question is which one or ones? You're going to say fleur de lis, leaves, mask, toasting mug, crab, or glass. What? It's not glass. Slipper. Slipper. It's a crab. Slipper. And then after Lisa, we'll open it up to the chat and we'll see if anybody else is interested. Also, if anybody who tuned in late is interested in any of the items from the beginning, y'all let Melissa know. So glad we've got 22 watching now. Y'all make sure and click the thumbs up. It's going to have to be a short auction just because of the time constraints, but we'll be raiding over into Colleen's Ladies Night in not too long. So get your
All right.
requests.
It looks like she's going to claim the mask,
Okay.
the cup,
Okay.
and the crawfish.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's the crab.
Right. All right.
And done.
Okay. So that leaves the
Hello.
that leaves this fabulous one. And if y'all want to see the back, look, even the back is glossy and iridescent. And it's on this fabulous string of pearls. This one with the fleur de lis is on golden beads. And this one with the acrylic slipper is on green. I do have multiples of the one with the acrylic slipper.
Anyone in chat colors?
Okay, let me move these aside and I'll show you some that are a little fancier. Okay, this next one, look at this fancy beading. This is a football fan bead. Guys usually love this type. You'll see it's got some golden footballs. You'll notice that some beads are more masculine, some beads more feminine, and That's just part of Mardi Gras, just like fashion is masculine or feminine. And so when you get thrown these big statement beads, it's not a random thing. The writer will point to you and say, you, so that the right person gets it. But something this big and substantial and heavy, if you're not looking or the wind starts taking it, can accidentally just whack.
Belle, Melissa did claim one of the beads prior to the gold one with the crescent.
The fleur de lis. Okay, here we go. This one, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. Okay, I see your hearts. Thank you. Sorry I missed that. Thank you for helping me, Nana. I have a hard time getting the next item ready and swapping sometimes. All right, so this one is going to be $5. $5 for this big statement bead. Oh, you're mighty welcome. All right. Anybody for this? This is the kind of bead that if a guy was there, like Mr. Troy or Mr. Terry, they would pick him out and throw him one of these beads. And surprisingly enough, when you're looking at the parade route, once again, it's not a lot of co-eds. You see mostly kids and grannies, interestingly enough, because it's a family event. People, I think, have the wrong idea nationwide, but you see mostly families and grannies, and that's who gets the majority of the throws. Because once again, you're not showing anything, you're just smiling and saying over here, or the signature um, phrase of, hey, mister, throw me something.
Harry says that's too big to throw.
It is absolutely not too big to throw. I'll give you a little spoiler alert about St. Patrick's Day and St. Joseph's Day. For those holidays, in addition to the beads and cups and stuffed animals and everything else they throw the entire ingredients, except for meat, of mulligan stew. So, what you think would be too heavy and too scary to throw, big heads of cabbage, they throw those. And when they're coming off the top deck of the second story of a float, I don't even. I always say, no, don't throw it to me, don't throw it to me, because there have been plenty of times where it hit my hand wrong or it bent a finger back. If you've had volleyball injuries, even harder with the big head of cabbage. So this is absolutely not too big to throw. But I'm going to clear this away. If there's no interest, all right, $5 still. Here's another specialty one. This one is strung. This one has fleur de lis on either side. And the bottom says, throw me something, mister. Happy Mardi Gras.
Wow.
Now, if you're wondering, why is there a ladder? A ladder is how children see, because children wouldn't be tall enough to see around the adults. Yes, there are some moms and dads that will hold them in their arms. There are some dads that will try to put them around their neck. But the problem is, children can't always sit up, they'll fall backwards. It's really not safe to try to seat your children around your neck. So, what they do is they put them on ladders. But once again, they don't want them to fall out. So here we added these little bars, which act as kind of like a safety belt seat, like they would have in cars. So they put these little seating boxes on top of the ladders, and that elevates kids enough that they can actually see and catch. And people can throw to them directly while the adults are standing down here. And they make sure that they have hands on the ladder and the ladder doesn't tip over. Okay, so here's the bead. It's strung, beautiful colors. see if I can drape it this way, maybe. $5. Yes, Lisa, if you're looking for the 12 packs of beads like I usually sell, you're looking for the braided beads. I had those earlier. I know it's hard being during the day and all. You aren't used to that. I'm not used to it. It's just the only time I could find to broadcast because it wouldn't be the same to have Mardi Gras on some other day. Plus, there's a lot of people who are just looking to save a trip to the store and aren't necessarily looking for a cultural lesson or icons. They're just looking for, household. So I know this isn't everybody's cup of tea or everybody's slice of king cake, I should say. But all right, last call for this specialty strung fleur de lis necklace with the signature "Throw Me Something, Mister" that literally says "Happy Mardi Gras." All right. This next one is going to be $3. It's also strung. It's strung with pearls and spacers. But some of y'all are going to say, wait, does it have stones on it? Well, these are, when you turn them around, oysters, because oysters are a huge part of our um, culture here. So let me lay it out. You can wear it either way, where it shows the oysters or it doesn't show the oysters. I'm going to flip it over just for representational purposes. But this is one of the more elegant, in my opinion, Mardi Gras beads. So we'll do this one for just three. Today is Mardi Gras. And for most people, Mardi Gras is about over because parade started at 8 a.m. Second one was at 10 a.m. Third one was at 12 noon. Another one at 1. So you figure it takes, 3 hours or so after each parade begins. So if you were at the beginning of the route, which when I was a little girl going, we were, usually we were home in time for supper. Starting bid, $3.
Love the animal. Lisa says, love the animal. No, not quite sure.
Were you looking back at a mask, maybe? All right. Any interest in the oyster beads? Oyster beads?
Melissa just got the price in there.
Okay. Sorry, I got to talking. Imagine that on a Mardi Gras. Oh. Well, we'll show a few more pieces and then we'll raid over. I'll show a few more beads and then we'll go back to a couple more masks. At least until time runs out.
Ashley says that oysters put you in the mood.
Oh, well, if you're looking to be put in the mood, even just these little $3 masks, I even said, if you're a married couple and, you need a little inspiration. So, a fun anniversary, there you go.
And Lisa said that she was talking about the oysters for the animals.
Okay. Well, we're going to clear this away. Next one, Melissa, is going to be $5. This is one of the quintessential beads. It is strung. It's purple. Then you have a steamboat. These go up and down the Mississippi. We have two here. One's called the Natchez and one's called the Cajun Queen. Here is our huge cathedral. It's called the St. Louis Cathedral. It's in Jackson Square, right in the heart of the French Quarter. Here is our Super Bowl, our Superdome. And of course, we are known for our cars. So you've got four great icons here on this bead. $5 for it.
Oh, I'm going to step away for just a second. I just had 3 packages delivered. One of them's probably from you. I'll be right back.
Okay. Sorry for the babbling. Okay. Any interest? It's like a history of New Orleans to be such a great souvenir. These are definitely all things, if you ever come to New Orleans, that you should see, ride, and do. The only thing it doesn't show is a swamp tour, and that's because you'd have to go out to the suburbs for a swamp tour. In fact, I have a swamp tour right in the little suburb where I live. She'll probably tell us. She did get mailed something. Okay, last call on this one. And she is such a dear to co host at the last minute. All right, we're going to pass on this one. This next one is going to be $3. And once again, it is filled with fleur de lis, and these are black and gold. So this is a strung bead. You've got 4 fleur de lis. And one of the things you may notice about Mardi Gras beads is some of them have just one icon at the bottom, but many of them have the arrangement of 4 on the sides. So those are basically the 2 types of designs that happen in Mardi Gras beads.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, Terry, there's 2 fairly large boxes and one a little bit smaller. I'm interested and excited to dig into them.
Well, I know mine to you is small, so therefore I can just imagine who the big ones are, but I won't ask you to dox yourself. I'm sure you'll have a fun afternoon after the broadcast of opening.
Yeah. Yeah, the 2 big ones are, of course, Tracy and OG. So I'm excited about those. Super excited about those.
Well, they have great merchandise. I know you'll have a wonderful time. Well, the way a swamp tour works is it's a pontoon boat, and usually about 20-ish people fit on there. Um, they usually cost $40-ish, unless you get a Groupon, in which case you might get it down to 20. And they go through the swamps, and you get to see all of the wildlife from frogs to alligators. And the way they get alligators to make sure they show is they will take a dead, rotting chicken from a grocery store. They'll put it outside until it's super stinky. Then they put it on a string, they tie it up in a tree, and the alligators will jump out of the water again and again and again until they jump high enough to bite it off of the tree. And that is a fantastic show for the swamp tours. But that's how they get alligators to jump out and perform. Because otherwise, alligators would just be skimming along the surface looking for some little something that's walking by or in the water. Oh, gee. Hello, Colleen. I'm so glad you had time to stop by.
I
We'll be
mentioned
waving over shortly, but it means everything that you took a few minutes to stop by and show your support. I appreciate your friendship so much, sweetheart.
I mentioned her name, and there she was. And Lisa, no, not this time. So it'll probably come in a week or so. Nothing from Belle today.
Well, it's probably too soon. And let's remember that we did have some postal holidays too, which helped things out. All right, we're going to pass on this. Next, not only are beads thrown, but bracelets are also thrown. We're going to do these $3 starting bid for choice. Let me show you what bracelets look like from Mardi Gras. Here's the first one. You'll notice these are all stretchy. Here's the second one. You'll notice they're in the signature Mardi Gras colors. Here's the next one, all commercially made and thrown. So $3 for choice. And then after, I'd like to show you some Mardi Gras masks with feathers. And I do still have some coming up that are um, porcelain and um, ceramic as well.
Got a question from Lisa. She's offering $8 for all three.
We have a full price bid from Lady Braven, so I'm going to have to decline, Lisa. I hope you understand. All right, anybody want to go up to 325? OG says love you.
Love you.
And isn't it nice to hear Nana's sweet voice, everybody?
And it looks like Lisa
I'm
has
so blessed that
passed.
you called. Okay, all right. Well, let's count this down to Lady Braven and see which she wants.
Going twice.
You must have great internet because you always see it before I do. I love
Yeah.
that. That's what I need with internet better than my own. I tell that to Colleen all the time.
I'm running both the stream and YouTube. So I think I see it in YouTube before I see it on the screen over here.
Oh wait, Colleen just realized it was you, and she's like, "Hey, girl, hey." She was just being nice to whoever was co-hosting, and then she thought she was typing to you in the chat, and she just realized you're both in the chat and on the screen.
Elisa, this is
Oh.
Nana is bonkers.
In case y'all didn't know, na 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 na, hey, Nana's here. So it's our friend with the theme song, in case y'all didn't notice. So I'm sorry for not giving her the proper send off the proper intro, but it was a last minute. She offered to help from the chat, and of course I said yes, please, yes, please, yes, please.
All right.
No, not Nana Tink, not Nana Tink.
Lady has chosen the large heart times 1.
Okay. They're all
Is that a one and done?
Yes. Okay. So here we have the heart with the spacers, and we have these kind of hobnail type beads with the spacers.
We're open to the chat. Lisa, you're confused about who I am, or?
Well, I think she's busy being a mom, so she might be confused about something else. Bless her heart. Okay, we're open to the chat. Lisa, did you want any of these or anybody else? We've got limited time before we raid over to Colleen's show. So, not trying to rush, but want to make sure I get to show y'all some of the great things. Okay, Lisa, if there's something you want, you can call this one hearts and call this one a hobnail. Well, Lisa doesn't like to type, so we'll just go hob. Heart or hob? Thank you so much. I appreciate you writing it that way. I think that will be more clear to Lisa. Okay, well, Lisa, if you decide, you can let Melissa know. I will set these aside while you consider your options. All right, next, I want to show you some fabulous feathered masks.
Lisa passes. And no, Lisa, I do not do auctions. I'm just helping her out.
She's a buyer, but she also makes jewelry and posts fabulous photos on Discord. All right, here, these are going to be $10 for choice. Here's the first one, and you'll see these are made with feathers. There's an outline around the eyes with sequins. It's a molded mask. This is what the back looks like. All right, let me get the other one. All right, here is this one. It's a little bit different. Once again, it's made with feathers. Very similar, but anything with feathers, just like anything with stones, no two feathers are alike, no two stones are alike, no two snowflakes are alike. So $10 for choice.
Oh, just a little bit different. Oh, pretty.
Yes, ma'am.
Starting bid of $10.
And still to come, we'll have the masks that you display on a wall. And I have them in several different sizes. All right, any interest in the feather mask? Okay, you move these aside. Okay, next, these are I'm not sure if they are ceramic, porcelain, bisque, something like that. These are going to start at $10. You do not wear these, you display these. And they are works of art. Here's the first one.
Well, thank you, Terry.
Okay, here's the next one.
Mm.
It's still in its package. This one is also in its package. Move the little streamers from the face.
Look at those pink cheeks.
And here is the third one with the flower on it.
Patty says, what a coincidence. I wore that same makeup today.
Oh, I love Patty's sense of humor. Oh.
Lisa says, it's dinner time. Goodbye, everyone.
Oh, bye, Lisa. Thanks for stopping by, sweetie. Okay, last call on these fabulous ceramic porcelain bisque type masks. Oh, I wonder what Lisa's having tonight.
Patty says she's on her way.
Okay, well, she don't even know if it's something she likes. But Lisa is such a fabulous cook that anything Lisa is going to cook is going to be fabulous. So I'll just show these as I'm clearing them away. And then I'm going to bring out some even larger ones. And these two are a good example of how some are more feminine and some are more masculine. All right, next, even larger. These are going to start out at 15. Here's the first one. And here is the second one. And you'll see they come with hangers on them because they hang on the wall. So $15 for choice. Any interest?
Not showing anything in the chat.
Okay, we will move these aside. All right, now here's an example of an artisan made one. This one You can tell was made and crafted, so it's not smooth. You can tell they glued all kinds of stuff on it. Um, and it's made to hang. Here's the hanger right here. Once again, just homemade. If anybody is interested in this one, just $10. It was not made by me or my mommy. Somebody, I think, gave this to her. Oh. And if there's anything y'all missed earlier in the show that you'd like, you can simply let Melissa know, and she's glad to sell it to you. Okay. Now, if you've been trying to decide what to get, some people tune in every year and they just want to get one item. And maybe you couldn't decide. Do I get beads? Do I get masks? What do I get is that one item that I let myself get this year. Well, I have one item that's going to fit both categories. And here it is. So it starts out as a big, heavy bead. Then we have a mask that is attached. This is not something that would be thrown at Mardi Gras. This is something you buy at a souvenir shop. And then at the bottom, it has these two fabulous tassels on it. So here is the whole setup, the bead, the mask, and then the tassels that dangle from it. So this one's going to start at 15. This is
Oh
quite
my
a
goodness.
souvenir piece. So it kind of checks all the boxes because those are usually the things that people want to bring home to show others about Mardi Gras are beads and masks. And once again, here's a close-up look of it. Quintessential colors of Mardi Gras in the beads, the mask, and the tassels. This is the kind that you would have hanging around your rear view mirror, have it hanging on a hook in the wall to display from your Mardi Gras trip. This would be quite that display piece. And then every time somebody gets in your car or comes to your home, they'd say, "Oh, you went to Mardi Gras." And you'd have a whole opening to tell your story. And even though Lisa M. Adventure has already left, every now and then she'll do a video from her car, and the Mardi Gras beads she got last year, she put on the rear view mirror of her car. So if you're ever watching her videos and she's in her car, you will see that little telltale sign. Okay, last. Um, Okay, let's put Nana on the screen again because Patty can't place Nana's voice. Nana, 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 Nana. Hey, 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 Nana's here. And she is
Hello,
here
Miss Patty.
co-hosting
And
today.
you haven't you can't place my voice because you haven't heard my voice. This is the first time.
You know,
But
that's the problem with. Go ahead.
I'm also known as Nana is Bonkers. So you see me buying stuff in the chat.
Well, but that's the other problem is so often in the world of YouTube and in the world of auctions that everybody just kind of recycles their friends, that it's the same sellers, that it's the same co-hosts, that it's the same mods. And one of the things I like to do on my channel is to give newbies a chance. People who have small, struggling channels like Lisa M Adventure. Um, it was the first time she had ever co-hosted. Melissa had never been a mod before, and y'all see that Melissa is a rock star. So, Nana, is this your first time co-hosting, or has somebody else co-hosted for you before?
I've been on another channel that was just starting out, not within this group of people.
Okay.
And I read her chat for her one day as she was driving.
Oh, yay. So I love to give new people a chance, and so often you find just gemstones of people, and I certainly say that with Melissa. Rainbow was the same way when she was modding for me, and now we're still close friends, but she's gone on to the Heifers. So, you know, even if I'm a stepping stone to a bigger channel, that's mighty fine for me. So I am so blessed that Nana was willing to give me some help and time today. All right, last call on this necklace mask with the tassels.
Terry says he likes that one.
Okay, and this is heavy, by the way. This is heavy. This is quite the relic. Okay. I think I'm going to show two more pieces and then raid over. Let me show a small little piece. If you've been saying so many of these are just above my price point, you're usually a bargain channel. This is a beautiful, the mask part is ceramic. This is beautiful satin. It's got bells on it, and it's a refrigerator magnet. If anybody is interested in, oh, and it's new with tag. This one is going to be $5 starting bid. This is one of the more affordable pieces. But look at the beauty of the molded face. The sweet little nose, the sweet little lips. Look at the decoration here. Look at the fabrics with the sequins, the solid fabric. Look at the double ruffle. Not single ruffle, but double ruffle on this. It is exquisitely made. So $5 starting bid for this. And then I'm going to show you the pièce de resistance of the entire auction. And then we'll raid over to OG with a parade raid. If y'all haven't already clicked the thumbs up, please, oh, please do. And y'all show Nana some love, because you better believe that after this broadcast, I'm going to be emailing her, begging her to come back on a Saturday, especially since she lives in a time zone that would be easier to stay up a little later. Since on Saturdays, I like to go later when things are selling. Why end an auction? So, but she has done a wonderful, fabulous job, has a sweet, kind voice, and is ever so polite and respectful.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I don't mind.
Go ahead.
I don't mind filling in every now and then for you when you need some help.
Nice. And she certainly fits in with our Southern motif. Janet! Hello, Janet. Well, we've got one item after this, so you made it in the nick of time, sir. All right, we're going to pass on this. And
welcome in, Janet.
The best and finest item of the auction.
No problem, Melissa. Thank you.
It is exquisite. It is exquisite.
Oh my goodness.
This one is going to have to start at $40. Now, this is my hand holding it. I'll show you the back of it. It's put this way, so it's meant to hang so that it doesn't rub against the wall, so that it will sit flat against the wall. And look at the beauty of the beading, of the sequins, of the paint, of the gloss, of the shine. She's even got earrings. She's got trim upon trim upon trim. There's trim down here, a double ruffle. Look at her gorgeous blue eyes. Look at the beautiful stone and sequins. This is my very best and most fabulous piece of the whole show. Festooned in all of her Mardi Gras greatness. Boop. I still have to boop the nose though, even though she's fancy and fabulous. I don't know how old she is. But she is still in excellent shape. I want to thank Melissa for running the chat. I want to thank Nana for co-hosting. I always want to thank the names in green who are my members. You can always join the membership by clicking the join button. Melissa is going to put the link to Colleen's Ladies Night in the chat. I want us to all raid over. It's called a parade raid, which is a term Sweet Jane came up with. Make sure to let her know that you're from Southern Belle NOLA. And I appreciate y'all taking a look at my Mardi Gras relics and memorabilia. Thank you to the few of y'all who made some purchases. I want to let everybody know that Wednesday and Thursday are my packing and billing days. If for some reason you only bought a couple of things, like less than $20, I can carry it over to next week, but it is your responsibility to email me to ask me. It's not my responsibility to ask you, because it's simpler just to pack and bill you. So if you want the extra week to add things in so that you can have combined shipping, you email me, Discord message me. You can even comment at the video if you want to, or even comment in the chat if you want to put yours out there. Thank y'all so much. We've got some great sales already planned for next week. If you missed something from the beginning of the show, you can still order it on the replay.
I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to come on and be your eyes reading your chat today. And hello to everybody and goodbye to everybody. I'll see
Well,
you
if you're
over
available,
at OG's.
if you're available on Saturday, I would love to have you, because I don't have anybody for Saturday yet. So I'll talk to you about it after the broadcast. If you just hang out a minute once the stream ends, we can talk directly off of air.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Did we get the link in to raid over to OG's? I want to make sure we got the link in before I end the stream.
Yes, Melissa posted it.
Okay. So I'm going to play the outro. After the outro, y'all show me a little love in the comments. Even just a emoji will count as a comment. Thank you so very much. Here we go. God bless y'all, ladies and
Bye, everybody.